William III. Name is Montague William III. And what I will tell you may well sound absurd, but the less who believe it, the better for me. For you see, I'm in banking and a big industry. For many a year we have controlled your lives, while you all just struggle and suffer in strife. We created the things that you don't really need, your sports cars and fashions and plasma TVs. I remember it clearly how all this begun. Family secrets from father to son. Inherited knowledge that gives me the edge, while you people lie sleeping at night.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from. And peace and salutations to the elect, feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, with sincerity, truth, and with charity. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, which the world ignorantly calls God. Bahashem means in the name of, and Yahushai is the true name of the Son in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, or JC. His true name is Yahushai. And once again, Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson. I'm going to be speaking about basically, they want us to be slaves. They literally want us to be cattle. And for those, I played the video in the beginning of basically it was more of a demonstration of this guy basically some sort of poem or video of basically this actor or whatever. Basically, he's basically playing the role of a global elite. But it's the perfect demonstration of what these people actually think of us as, right? And for those of you who don't know, basically these elites, man, they consider us what you call goyim, and nowadays they like to use this word, throw this word around loosely, right? And it's probably to do some damage control and to cover up a lot of what these JOOs speak about. But the word goyim, right, goes back to, literal cattle, right? They think of us as, useless eaters, and these elites, they basically want us to be these, digital slaves. They want to put a chip inside our body, ultimately, so we can be, in their ideal society, right? I have the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 5. It says, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And this is speaking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man that's in power, these global elites, right? And all these different global elites, they come from that seed line of Esau. Like the term Rothschild, which translates to a shield of Edom. And these are they're part of that seed line, which goes back to Esau, Edom, right? Ultimately, Esau, Edom, part of his blessing was also the fatness of the earth, right? Which this is what a lot of these global elites, they have today. They have all sorts of giant ownership of lands. They have, when America was established, they were the first to get their hands on a majority of the land. Just have a lot of inheritance in different lands, right? And if you hear the guy in the beginning mention that basically, part of his speech or whatever you want to call it, he basically says how they basically come from all types of what is it? They basically come from, the same family, right? They come from that seed line all the way back to Esau. He didn't mention it. The guy in the film, he didn't mention it specifically, but that is true. They all come from that family. Going back to Esau, Edom, right? And and another thing they mentioned was, basically they put these flat screen TVs, these different cars, different designer bags, whatever the case is, to keep us, the Israelites, right, keep us distracted, keep us dumbing down, keep us basically slaves and in debt, right? That's why you have a lot of these songs, different songs and stuff. They're always speaking about designer brands like Gucci, or different cars like Lamborghini or whatever. And then who's buying those things? A lot of it is Jake. They're buying those things because that's their way of what is it? Advertising. That's how they try to get it. Then the money that Jake's working for, they're spending on all these different fucking designer brands and shit that that's just useless. And the money goes back to them, right? That's why a lot of those stimulus checks that they gave out years ago, it just went back into the hands of the elites, man. All that money just got recycled. But let me get this. Ecclesiastes 12, chapter 1 and verse 2. It says, "Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, vanities of vanities, all is vanity. What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever." And so all these things that Esau puts in front of you, which these elites try to distract us with, it's all vanity. Everything these people have is vain. Ultimately, there's no profit in it at the end of the day. What we have is this ministry, and this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right, given to us by Yahweh, by Shem Yoshai. That's the only thing that's profitable. What these elites have, what they show you, this worldly stuff, like flat screen TVs, Gucci bags, all that shit is fucking bullshit, man. And it also, it just shows, man. It's just a trap. Because people are just a lot of the shit people are just buying just to get that feeling of buying something. Like I'll walk into Walmart and I'll see a dude literally just buying a fucking flat screen TV, and the dude doesn't even need it. Most of the time these people don't even need that shit. They're just buying it because they think they need they just want to buy another TV or a fucking PlayStation 5 because they think it looks cool. This what a lot of this shit people don't actually need. But these elites, bro, they're trying to, they're trying to distract us, right? There are a lot of distractions that are coming out, right? You also have the entertainment. You have the the modern day sports, right? These are all these things that they put in front of you, and these people know it's just one big fucking distraction for you. And going back to the video, you think these elites, that look like this guy, do you think they are here watching the fucking NFL or watching basketball all day? No, they're the ones that are they're the ones actually owning all the betting apps, running all the the sports gambling apps. and they're making bets, and then they're rigging the sports games. That's what they're doing, man. You know, they're setting up distractions and putting the advertisements, making the commercials for whatever they're trying to push. They see us not even on the same level. They truly think they're better than us, and that's why you don't see these people walking on the public. You don't see them taking the train stations. That's a poor man's thing, man. Right? Right. That's why the scriptures talk about seeing servants upon horses and princes walking as servants on the earth, and that it shows the men of the Lord right now are in the lowest state, but we're going to be brought up to a higher state, to where these Edomites, Edomites who are actually supposed to be the slaves and the servants. Right now they're riding upon horses, right? And soon you're gonna see these people. You're gonna see these people at the bottom of society, man. We're gonna have literal rulership over these devils. But let me bring this scripture out. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And the earth is given in the hands of Esau right now, right? And that's why you see, the people are mourning, because the wicked are in authority. And ultimately, we haven't gotten put out of slavery, man. We're still in this day in slavery. And even if we have houses, cars, we're still under this fucking devil system, bro. And on top of that, they're gonna come out with that chip soon, and whoever takes that chip, that mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip that's gonna be put inside of the human body, is gonna be fucking destroyed, and they're gonna try to make you a slave like that as well. Now the elect is not gonna take that chip, but a lot of these people out here, they're gonna take that chip, bro. But this devil, the earth was given to him for a temporary time, and they want us. This is what he basically fantasizes about. Us being that perfect ideal slave, mixed with robots, transhuman, right? We're working all day for his gain, while we just then we'll just spend our money on bullshit, right? But we're still slaves, man. Because you have a lot of people, they're even saying, there's this doctrine, people say, the curses were lifted in 2019. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Or you can choose to be under these curses or not. Well, you have, people, just fucking, that's just fucking retarded, man. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8, and the Baruch was the understudy of the prophet Jeremiah. And I'm going to bring this out. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord Yahweh. Right? So that's what we're here for, because ultimately we were going off in our past lives, and our ancestors were going off worshiping other idols, and this was a punishment. As a result, we have to be under these these devils, these Edomites, just like these, that looked like the guy that I just showed in the video, You know, now that guy he's an actor. I don't think he's an actual global elite, but there are people that look like him and speak like him that don't show their faces, but they certainly exist, and they're out here, and they're watching us, and they know about our videos too. But we have to be under these people, right? But I'm gonna read it one more time. It says, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity." Right, so we are basically still in slavery. Even if it's fashioned in a certain way, well, you still have to get up, work. You work for literal, fucking, cents. You're under the government. You have to pay. Some brothers have to literally pay child support. That's slavery right there, man. The food is genetically modified. You have hospital bills you have to pay. Just madness, bro. It's just fashioned in a different way where there's distractions and there's that perception where you can build your way to the top, and you can get this sports car, you can get this house with a white picket fence. All this shit is just it's vanity, and and even if you get all these things, you're still a slave under the government. They can just eminent domain your fucking house, right? But I'm gonna play the video one more time, right? It just showing you how these people look at us. They basically want us to be a slave for them, man. That's their goal. That's their ultimate agenda, right? So I'm gonna play the video one more time, and then I'm gonna wrap this video up. But Lord willing, this was edifying.
William III. Him is Montague William III. And what I will tell you may well sound absurd, but the less who believe it, the better for me. For you see, I'm in banking and big industry. For many a year we have controlled your lives, while you order struggle and suffer in strife. We created the things that you don't really need, your sports cars and fashions and plasma TVs. I remember it clearly how all this begun. Family secrets from father to son. Inherited knowledge that gives me the edge, while you people